Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the fifth and final webinar on this series with Annuity 101. Today, we are going to do a very quick review. So these are slide decks that you've already seen before, but we're just going to kind of hit on them very, very quickly. Towards the end, I'm going to introduce a program that we're going to have available to you. And then I want to leave plenty of time for any questions that you might have, and then we'll just wrap it up. The overall takeaway from getting started, what I would probably advise, we have a great contracting department here, but what I would probably advise as your call to action to getting started is to maybe contact me, whether it's email, phone call, whatever, however you're comfortable. And I would probably recommend, based on your state, 2 or 3 carriers that I would say these will probably be good players for you. And maybe given where you are in your journey to write annuities. Also on that, then from there, I would probably direct you to our website, hit the contracting tab, and you'll see a video if you're unsure of where to go from there. But the Sure LC program is where our contracting department wants to take you to get you signed up, which then it will populate on various contracts. So you don't have to keep repeating a 20-page paper contract. I'm told that this will take you maybe 8 to 10 minutes to complete this. So it's a really good first step. I'll probably, if I remember, I'll hit on this again at the end of our show here. But we have a very friendly contracting department. They will hold your hand, make sure that you have all the things you're seeing on the screen, and kind of remind you of the requirements that are needed to for each and every carrier that we have. Just kind of a quick recount. We talked about the various types of money. We're really kind of knock it down into 2 types. Qualified is money that has never been taxed before. So those are your 401ks typically, but these are the monies that I've put in my retirement funds that Uncle Sam hasn't touched yet. And then the other category is the non-qualified money, and that's our bank money, let's just call it. This is the money that has already been taxed. I've got it in my savings account. Maybe I have it in a CD, checking account, whatever it might be. Again, so don't let that confuse you. It takes a little bit of time, but qualified means it's qualified to get taxed yet. Non-qualified accounts that the money has already been taxed. So you're good to go on that. All right. The exchanges, the 1035 exchanges, which, we're not tax people, but that's a non-taxable event. And this is just kind of the overview. The big takeaway, which we talked about on this slide, is when I'm moving money from company A to company B, it has to be like to like. So qualified money to qualified money, or non-qualified to non-qualified on those vehicles. Also, that's not on the screen, but we did talk about it on the like-to-like theme, is when I move money from insurance company, it's not a taxable event, but then I do have to have the like-to-like, meaning the same annuitant, same owner. So everything has to move from company A to company B in a like-to-like. So again, we're here to help you with all that, to make sure that we're using the proper vehicle and making sure that we complete everything properly. We talked a little bit about RMDs, required minimum distributions. This is on qualified money at some point. Our government wants that money back in the system. They want to tax it. So eventually, for anybody that's born in 1960 or later, that RMD age is going to be 75. There are some already that have been taking RMDs. Some people are going to be at age 73. But then again, from 1960 on, right now, as the laws stand, that RMD is not going to take effect until age 75. If you're ever curious about the amount, so let's just say I have $1 million and I'm at age 75, what is my RMD going to be? You can Google various RMD calculators and kind of get an idea of what that income looks like, or what that money coming out of that account would look like. And again, you want to make sure you're in friendly products to accommodate the RMD situations. Surrender charges. One of the things, and I kind of piggybacking on Michael Sams, that was our guest speaker last week, did a fantastic job, is a question you're going to want to always ask instead of getting, like a 10-year MIGA or 5-year MIGA. Just one of the basic questions is, when do they plan on wanting access, or when do they want to use this money? So that is a big one. And like when we're helping you, um, case design, that's a big question to ask, of when do they need to get their hands on the money? And again, the RMD may come into play there, which we'll know the type of money in that. But just a quick review, like you're looking at the first line there, the 1 and the 2, that would be a 2-year MIGA. So if they ever got out or broke the contract early, they're going to pay a surrender charge. And that second line there is a 5-year. But with annuities, and again, we case design, there's going to be some free withdrawal privileges, whether it's a RMD or a 5% free withdrawal, 10% free withdrawal, what have you. But it is important to kind of get a grasp on when they need the money. But with that said, there can always be emergencies. So your client would need to know that if they break the contract, go past the free withdrawals, there are some surrender charges, and you can see on the screen that those are receding charges as you get deeper into the contract. We talked a little bit. I think MIGAs are a real nice place to start if you've never written an annuity. It's a set rate for a set period of time, really a vanilla type of product. It's a guaranteed rate. They largely range from, like the window annuity we talked about, the 1 year up to 10 years. The sweet spot usually is 3 to 5 years. They're going to yield higher than bank CDs. And the big thing is they're going to grow tax deferred. But again, we'll help you with that product. There's a lot of different MIGAs. And people, this is a fantastic time to be jumping into the annuity realm. There are so many MIGAs right now that are even over the 5%. Back when COVID hit, we had a company come in at a 4%. And my goodness, that was the best news we could have ever received, because at that time they were in the 2.5, 2.75, maybe a couple in the threes, but then we had one hit at 4. But my point on that is, with several of them in the 5s right now, this is really a nice time to introduce annuities to your client. The other avenue is the fixed indexed annuity. I feel like we write a lot of those when we're doing rollovers from the 401k. I've retired from Caterpillar or wherever, and I have to move my money. So I feel like a lot of those folks are still interested in participating in the market, maybe the S&P, but they don't like the losses that are occurring, and then they can't afford it because of time. They're at that age now where they should be in maybe the preservation side of things. So fixed index will let me participate in the market's gains, but I do not participate in the losses. Most of the products they don't have a fee unless you get into some income riders, but I can have a zero if the market in my 401k, and I looked at it and I lost 20,000. In an FIA, I probably was getting a zero. I wasn't going to have a negative number. So those, and again, the sweet spot there, we do have some 5 years FIAs that really have kind of picked up a little bit. I don't have that on the screen, but probably sweet spot mainly 7 to 10 years and longer. And there are a lot of different indexing options, and we'll help you with that to simplify it. They even on the FIAs, they do have fixed account. So those set rates there for that year, and it's an annual deal. Even though I might have a 10-year FIA each year, my anniversary, then I'm allowed to reallocate. But also the insurance company is allowed to change their participation rates and caps as well. So, but we'll help you with the fixed index for sure, and not be intimidated by that. We looked at what's right for your client. Again, this comes in on case design, where whether you've emailed me or called me, whatever it is, and we'll figure it out based on your client's goals. But generally speaking, the older clients that are just looking for a flat guarantee, they don't want anything fancy, on something safe and sound. I want to know to the penny what I'm going to have at the end of 3 years or 5 years, whatever it might be. Those would all point to a MIGA, multi-year guarantee annuity. So we know exactly what their return is going to be. Then we're going to have some clients where that 3 to 5% doesn't do a lot for them. Typically, I think I'm seeing those in the ones that are coming right from a 401k rollover. And, they still want to kind of participate in the market. They're familiar with it. And so probably FIAs are more in tune with them. There's some people that just don't want to tie that money up. They're just leery of annuities. The window annuity is a real nice place to start with that, where even though it's in a 5-year chassis, there is an escape or let me out of the annuity after 1 year. And we even have a 2-year annuity as well. So something to keep in mind for those. We don't write a bunch of those, but it is kind of where the client gets their toes in the water, so to speak, and maybe use the agent as well. And then we have some retiring people, but they want that growth for a few years, and then they want income from that. And that is screaming an FIA with an income rider. We have some that have fees for that. That costs your client maybe 1% on their growth. We do have a couple carriers that's zero fee on that, with some really nice features on their income rider. So again, comes down to case design. We'll make sure that we're putting your client in the right product. We had a slide a couple weeks ago of qualified prospects, and again, it's kind of any kind of disruption. And they've got an old 401k. They're not retired yet, but they left a job and it was sitting there. You can move that one. You cannot touch the ones that they're participating in right now. But when you're talking to your clients and they've changed jobs in the past 5 years, they might have left one behind that they didn't bring to their new job. So those are some that we could talk about. They got money in the bank accounts that's not getting an attractive rate. They don't need the money, don't know quite what to do with it, want something safe and sound. Those are qualified prospects for sure. And then what we're kind of seeing a lot of, there's just some volatility right now in the market with some things going on. So a lot of people are looking for, hey, I want to get out of the market. I'm done with my contributions with my employer. I'm retired now. I want to get out of there. I've got it with an investment planner. Those are ones that we really like a lot, that we can really kind of steady the water for them. So those are qualified prospects, we feel. This is part of the CNA, but you know what? It comes down to, what are you comfortable with asking? I know Michael, you saw last week, he has some specific questions, but he stays on script for his, I think he's probably got 10 categories, and this is the one that you can read yourself here on the screen, but it's just start to talk about the money. And again, he goes by that. I know he circles it, makes the note on it, and then I think he told you he'll go back and take care of, a lot of times it's the Medicare need and something that's the immediate. So this is kind of a return. This is a fact-finding thing. This is typically, for most agents, then a return for the client to come back. But the point on this is to ask. I mean, just that 3-letter ASK, just ask. And sculpture this to your comfort. Whatever that question looks like on your own CNA, client needs assessment, make it to where you're comfortable to ask it, okay? And still get some information from your client on that. We've provided funding sheet. It looks a little busy on there, but it is a nice little cheat sheet, kind of where the funds are coming from, and whether it's a 1035 exchange, it's a rollover, a transfer. Again, that's what we're here to also help you with, but just some fun sheets that Rebecca and Jason have put together to help simplify things for us, okay? Another nice sheet that we introduced to you that you should have had it emailed to you, but there's a lot of CD money out there, and people want to know, what's the difference? You're telling me set rate, set period of time, but my CD does that. So it's just a nice little comparison that you can even, this could be a leave behind for your client information. It's education, something then to talk about that they may come back, say, you know what? I see the differences now. I want to come back and talk to you more about this MIGA that you've kind of introduced to me. So again, just a one pager, real simple, and something that's been real effective for our agents. So I know I went through that pretty darn quick, but some of you are going to get this on a recording. Some of you are with us obviously right now. You've been through all 5 weeks of what we've been talking about here, but you're just not comfortable yet. And I get it. I understand. I'm going to tell you right now, Michael Sams, who's been an agent now for longer than I probably know now. I don't know how long he's been, 15 years now, maybe. I don't know, Jason, but he was a young man when he came here. But he was not comfortable. In fact, we even had a conversation. There was a guy in our office that was kind of specializing in annuity department and on sales. And he was like, man, I'm just going to turn him over to this gentleman and let him take care of him. And so he wasn't ready yet. But by learning and jumping in and watching this gentleman, he started to become comfortable. And then, like Michael's not going to tell you, but I mean, he's a $10 million producer on annuity sales every year. And again, he started with zero for several years until he just got comfortable. So next slide, Jason. What we're introducing, and we're just calling it something very simple, is a annuity partnership program. Okay, and I'm probably going to be all over the map a little bit on this. That's why we're leaving times for some questions, and then you can call me, email me too after this webinar or weeks to come. But essentially, this is what it is. So you're not quite ready yet. You're not, you've got your client, you're comfortable with your client, but you've never talked to them about money. So if you have a client, you get them interested, you've done your CNA, you've asked these money questions to your comfort level, but you're not quite confident in writing them yet. We are offering a program where we're going to write that annuity for you. It's somebody on our team that will do it, and I'll match that up to your comfort level, and you'll get a feel for them. The commission part of it, even though what you're bringing to the table is and I'm going to call it a hot lead. We don't want cold leads. We don't want this to where you just want somebody on our team to call your client that you've never talked to, or you've never talked to them about money. These have to be hot leads, warm leads. You're going to earn 50% of the commission on that sale. The guy writing it, the lady writing it on our team is going to earn the other 50% on that sale. So essentially, that second bullet, you're going to get paid while you learn. Okay, you maintain this client relationship. We are not taking your clients. I have people that have come to us with programs that I will not do because I feel like then they're looking to take some clients. Okay, so we have a lot of Medicare supplement agents. We do. You are 100% protected. We are not taking your client. This will be a program where you will talk to your client. You'll get them ready. You know that they're ready for a 401k rollover. They've got a CD coming due, whatever it is. You will be on the call if you want with our expert while they're talking to your client. So you can be the bridge. It can be a 3-way call. We can do a Zoom. We can do very creative things, but essentially, I'm the agent that is not quite ready yet. I'm going to bridge and introduce my client then to the expert, and then they're going to make sure that we get the facts again, perhaps, and then we're gonna put them in a product or introduce a product that is going to fit them. So it might be the sale on that first call. It might not be. So, Joe, I think I talked about this in week 1 or 2, whatever it was, but never sold an annuity in his life, but he got all the information, brought in, this one was Luke on this particular case, talked to him, ended up writing the app. It was over $500,000, ended up being a fixed index that fit. And then also a side of 150,000 was a MIGA that fit. Okay. So I don't know if I'm doing a great job on this, but the gist of the whole thing is you are not 100% comfortable. You've got the relationship, but now you're going to pass it on, so to speak, or bridge it to an expert. That expert is going to put your client in a proper product. You're going to listen and learn while it's going. You can step away from this 50-50 split anytime you want. I mean, you might go through two of these appointments. You think, well, this is not as hard as I thought. Boom, you're on your own now. That is wonderful. That's the idea. Where we have lost people in these programs in the past is you just never get started because you don't have training. Okay. So this is our answer to the best that we can do it of training, and then you are going to learn and earn commission as you go. So again, I'm kind of repeating and I jumped ahead of myself, but here's how it has to go. And here's how I envision it. Okay, so you've done your client needs assessment, you've got them warmed up, whatever it might be. You have to be contracted. Okay, because you're going to be on that app with the commission part of it, the agent's report, as the commission is 50% to you, 50% to the agent that's licensed in your state that's writing this. And I will know these people. It's not like I'm throwing an agent out there that I don't know. I know I will pair you together and it'll be fine. You have my word. You know where to find me, so to speak. But you have to get contracted. So kind of backing up to where we started this day is to get on the Sure LC. You've emailed me, you've called me. I'm getting you 2 to 3 carriers that I know that'll probably be viable in your state. You're going to get on Sure LC, spend that 8 to 10 minutes, get contracted. So let Jenny, Amber, whoever is on the contracting team, let them get you to where you're ready, and then we'll go. So you can observe and learn. And then again, I've had, and this is nothing new, but I've had some agents say, you know what, I've got a filing cabinet full of clients and I'm earning a nice living. I've got 400 clients that I write Supp. I do some ancillary, blah, blah, blah. I don't really want to mess with annuity. I know it's a great service. I'm interested in the 50-50, but I will give them over then to this agent that'll write it as long as I'm getting 50% of it. So I'm the health expert in this case, this agent, and then I'm going to give you over to my financial expert. It's still on my team. So it's your teammate, so to speak. We have some that want to follow that model that they'll never write an annuity. That's fine. You're still part of the Annuity Partnership Program. But what my hope would be then is that you learn it, and then you don't need the expert, the financial expert, the annuity expert, that you're doing this on your own. So, I've had guys that'll watch them do the e-app, very simple. They grade your paper as you go, but we're relationship built. We do a nice business here, but we have never lost sight. The reason we are in business is because of relationships. And we've never lose sight that we are 100% of the time going to do the right thing for your client. You may bring us a client that annuity just doesn't fit, and we'll tell you that. You may bring us a client that you want that FIA, boy, that pays a bigger commission, but a MIGA fits. It's going to be a MIGA. We 100% are going to do your client right. And it's kind of like we play hard, and at the end of the game, we look up the scoreboard and we win. So as long as we're helping people, everything falls into place. And we've never lost sight of that in the couple decades plus that I've been here. It's just the philosophy that we've adopted, and we back it up. So we back it up daily. You're going to have questions, and maybe we'll field a few right now, and you're going to have questions maybe after this that you can call me, email me to get started with this Annuity Partnership Program even. We got some questions, Jason?
Yeah, Deborah asks, has Michael ever recorded one of his client annuity cases appointments for training purposes that we could listen to? I don't know on annuity specifically.
Yeah, and there's some sensitivity to that
Right.
because of privacy.
Yep.
So we've really kind of kept an eye on that. What is possible, and I will ask him, is that if they've done role playing in a training session, that's where might be something available. But as far as the actual client and filming, that's kind of getting into some privacy areas that just quite frankly, I'm not comfortable with either. Role playing, something different. We'll check on that, but I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, we did used to have a few client recordings where the client had given their permission and their faces weren't on camera, but I think it was more MedSup focused.
Yeah, gotcha. Anything else?
What other questions we have?
I don't know that I did a great job today, folks. I don't on annuity partnership program. So follow up with me, whether you're calling me, email me. I want you to be comfortable. I want you to help as many people. These are gonna, honestly, my challenge to you would be to find 10 people that you have as clients right now and construct your own CNA with those 10. You know, call yourself to the action. And then also the call to action would be to get the 2 to 3 carriers, start to get licensed with them, get on the Sure LC on our website.
So if you are on our homepage, click contracting at the top, which brings you here.
Oh,
And you can register here if you haven't. Here's the video and so on.
okay.
Okay, so let's get back to the questions. Okay, Donna, what is an example of a 100% commission on a 401k amount of 100,000 going into a MIGA?
Yeah, so just generally speaking, if it's a 5-year MIGA, and here's the danger part because you're talking about ages, there's grids, and that's where when you do the contracting, you'll be given the grid, the contract grid. So some of them will take down your percentage of your commission based on the age. So it might be grouped up to age 75, and then age 76 to 80, it's this. So as they get older, the commission levels drop. But let's just say, generally speaking, when you're looking at a commission, and I don't usually talk about it, but I'm being pretty vague here, on a 5-year MIGA, you would be looking typically anywhere from 2% up to 3%. Okay, depending on age and company and all that. And then typically FIAs, depending, but you're usually looking at 3 to 3.5 times the commission that you make from MIGAs. That's typically speaking. But you will have all this in writing. You'll have every bit of it in writing.
Okay, Jason, any video training available for doing the carrier e-apps, Heartland, Liberty, etc.?
You know what? I think once you get with a company, okay, most of them use, this may not mean anything to you right now, but they use a platform called Firelight. So that is a universal e-app. So they're all, whether it's the companies you mentioned, those companies you mentioned all have Firelight. They're all going to look almost identical on when you're populating them. A lot of them, when you get contracted, then you can get on there and then they'll call it a sandbox where you can do practice e-apps. And I recommend that. You can also do it if they don't have the sandbox, that you can get on there and go through the e-app, go through all of it, but just obviously don't submit it. And then I do know there are some carriers that already have on their websites training videos of how to complete an e-app. And again, most of them use Firelight. I don't even know one that doesn't use Firelight right now that we have. So pretty easy, and e-apps are definitely the route to go.
Okay, Andre, what companies do you recommend to contract with?
Well, we'll touch base on that individually, Andre, if you don't mind, because it depends on your state for some of them, because some of them may not be in your state. So I would kind of hold that for individual producers that contact me, and then I will help you 100% on that. And again, it might determine too of your what level you're at on your annuity education, if you've ever written one, or maybe you've never written, how you're licensed and so forth. But I'd rather kind of be a little vague on that if you don't mind. But I promise you, I will help you, and we'll find 2 or 3 to start with that fit. We have so many annuity carriers. We have a bunch. We have about anybody you can mention, but we don't use them all. But there's sometimes on the niche part of it that, based on listening to your client, this is what we got to go to on this company. So we again try to get the best of the best, but we'll get back. Andre, reach out to me on an email or what have you on that one, please.
Okay, it looks like Dale had a very similar question in Texas. So,
Yep.
okay. Are the other sessions indexed online for weeks 1 through 4? Yes, they are. And we have been sending those out weekly in an email as well. If you don't see that in your email, please check your spam folder. But if you go to our website and see this gold button at the top right, sign in. If you sign in, and if you don't have a sign in, just register. But once you sign in, you'll be at this dashboard, and we've got our recorded webinars right here. So here are the previous ones, or you can view a list of all of them. So if you don't see that email, just log into our website and check there. Let's see. Joy, can we contract with New Horizons for annuities and life insurance only? I'm already contracted with another integrity company for health insurance.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. So we're your IMO. You're not per se contracting with us. We're not paying you. The companies are paying you. But that happens all the time. So we may have some people that are with us in health and they go somewhere else for a cancer or whatever. But yes, I mean that, and we don't step on our partners' toes. Let me make that very clear. But if you're not contracted already in that department, it's no problem. And again, that's we welcome that opportunity for sure. And we have passed on, agents that don't fit really what we provide, perhaps to other IMOs that are in our integrity family. So it's all good there. Yes.
Okay, Sherry, do you or someone have experience in strategies for education retirees using annuities?
So you're talking about teachers, I'm assuming, obviously here. So those, I come from a family of teachers, sister-in-laws and brother. Um, they, I have personal clients that are teachers, by the way, and they sometimes they had side annuities for lack of better terms. So here in Illinois, they have the TRS, the teacher retirement system, where their pension just flows. But also during their time, they were contributing to, only thing they were contributing to was another annuity. So I have done that for teachers even here that are friends or family. But really, it still comes back to me, comes back to the CNAs. You're asking the question basically then what's the source of the money? And I've found out that a lot of the teachers, they simply have annuities, whether it was written with back in the Illinois days, Franklin Life or some other carriers. So you can get to all that from asking them to your CNAs.
Yeah, and just a reminder, if you don't have the client needs assessment already, you go to our website under agent resources, and you can go to training and tip sheets, and you're going to find the client needs assessment right here. So you can download that from there.
And I might add, you can tailor that then. That can be a template to give you a base idea and then make it your own. Do these questions how you're comfortable with wording them or asking them, the order of the questions. I know we have people that may take this as like I said, a template, but then they change it. And that's great. That's what you should do. Make it your own.
Okay, Andre, do you have an annuity lead program?
We do not. That was
Um,
simple.
and Monty, will New Horizons assist with marketing and or provide some direction for successful marketing ideas?
Well, I'll tell you what on that. So there's a couple carriers that we have that have beautiful marketing pieces that are already compliant. Never do you ever want to do your own. Everything has to be compliant. So they have to be approved by the company. Okay. And especially when you're talking about the financial part of it. So the short answer to your question is yes, because let's just take Silac, for example, because I think they do it as good as anybody. When you get licensed with them and you get on the website, you see all these approved ads, whether it's for a newspaper, Facebook or whatever it might be, but they are already approved. Okay. And there are some forms then you have to fill out, but you want to always be compliant. So we here at New Horizons are not in that business, so to speak, but we will help direct you. And there's if you already have clients, and again, I apologize for this, but a lot of our agents are Medicare agents. So, whether it's a email blast that you're sending out, like how do you communicate with your 400 clients? How do you communicate and let them know that you might have a very competitive interest rate? That's where we can help, and these companies that have pre-approved ads, flyers, whatever, will help you in that part as well.
Okay, Candace asks, there's mention of a home state for selling. Do you suggest only home state or multiple states are fine too?
I'm not sure I quite understand the question, but so if you're licensed in multiple states, that's wonderful. I'll find the companies that, we just have a couple companies that are in limited states. So that's where I always kind of hesitate to spell it out there. Most of our A-rated, A+ rated is going to be in all states. So, but you can be, licensed in multiple states. You would be set up with a team member from here that I know that is licensed in multiple states. New York gets to be a little bit tough, just to be blunt about it, but really all the other states have been pretty easy. And there's some companies that will have different interest rates based on that state, like Minnesota, for instance, or Florida, for instance. They might have different rates than Illinois, Indiana. So we just have to pay attention there. Anything else, Jason?
Just Dale asks, is there a 50-50 program with Medicare? Compliance is a nightmare.
Short answer to that would be yes. That we've from here, yeah. And again, you still have to be licensed. You still have to be all that because you're going to be getting paid by the carrier. But I can't speak to the Medicare part of it. I know, but I can't jump on those in this format. Well, I'm going to wrap it up with this is thank you, everyone. We appreciate your time. I know your time is extremely valuable. I want to really, I don't know if challenge is the right word, but I want to encourage you, would be a better word, to find 10 of your clients right now that you can target and do a client needs assessment. Get that thing to where you're comfortable. And then my other encouragement is to get on the Sure LC or to email me first to where we can pick 2 or 3 carriers out, then jump on the Sure LC and get you rolling with that. And if for anybody wanting to do the annuity partnership program, just let me know. We are more than happy to earn your business. We appreciate your trust and everything. And thank you again, everyone, for your time. We appreciate you.